Hello everybody, I'm so glad you're here. This is Susan from the Art Barn Studios, your online step-by-step painting classes. I'm glad you're here today. I'm really so excited that we're doing this 12 series of paintings, and I'm not sure if you started with this painting or you started with one of the other paintings, but every time we start a video, I'm going to go over with you how to get a successful painting. Some of you have already painted with me before, so if you have, this is just going to be a refresher for you. Today we're painting this adorable panda. He's so cute, he fills up most of the space, but there's some things that you need to remember each time that we paint. First of all, when we paint large backgrounds, we're going to use our largest paintbrush. When we paint anything, we don't use any water to paint with. So when you do clean your brush, you're going to wipe your brush on the bottom of your container of water, like you're painting it, to clean the bottom of the container. Squeeze out all that water over your cup before you use your paper towel, and then you're going to use your paper towel and pinch that really dry. Don't just wipe it, it doesn't get enough water out. So we're going to pinch that really dry. Nice and flat. The brushes like to stay flat, so we're not smashing our brush or twisting it. Okay, squeeze it dry. We're going to start this, this cute panda bear with the background colors. So I have painted a sky color, and I've painted green in the background like he's in a big bamboo brush. You can do anything you like. If you like pink, you can make the background pink. This is your panda bear, and actually you can make him into a brown bear just by changing his colors of his fur. So let's get started. When we paint, remember, big space, big paintbrush. When we paint, we're going to use these colors for this bear, but whatever colors you're using, you're going to go ahead and put on your plate and have ready. I'm going to take my big brush. I'm sticking my brush in the edge of my paint all the time, just as a helpful reminder, because if I want white now and I put this blue right in the middle, it makes the white dirty. So if I wanted to do blue and then white without washing my brush, just put it on the edge, that way you still have white. We're going to paint our sky. You're going to make sure that you paint the top edge, and you're going to brush back and forth. Back and forth, and we want this paint to be thin and smooth, you guys. We want it to dry fast enough so that we can start doing the chalk lines in the fun part. Chalk doesn't work on wet paint, so we want it thin and smooth with no lumps and no bumps. Brush that paint until it won't spread anymore. So I'm brushing, and you can see where it's starting to drag. That's when you would want to get more paint, and you're only dipping it. We only want paint on the end of the brush, not all the way up to the metal, which is the ferrule. Okay, stick it back in here. I'm only going down for sky area. Now remember what I said about not sticking your brush in the middle? We're going to go right from this brush into the green without washing it. It's going to help those colors blend. So I'm sticking it on the edge. I'm not getting a lot of paint. And I'm going to go away from the blue, painting my green, away from the blue, not right up next to it. Make sure you do your edges. And then when my paint is all gone, I'm going to rub that up close to where that blue is wet, and it's going to make there to be no line right there. Because if you have a hard line, it's going to show right behind his face. Okay? He's going to look like this. We don't like this. So soft, super soft. And you'll just stick your brush in, finish painting. We're making a giant chalkboard to paint this cute panda. You're gonna need to take it out of the easel if you have an easel to paint the bottom. You could be painting this flat on your dining room table, which is just fine. Try to remember to get a plastic table cover so that it doesn't get paint all over your mom's dining room table. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, Stephanie is back there videotaping me, and Stephanie is reminding me to smile. You guys, I get so concentrated and having so much fun with what I'm doing, so she has to remind me to smile. So I'm smiling. Okay, ready? Okay, thin and smooth. So when we're done, we already did the blue. When we're done, I want you to lightly, like a feather, take your brush from one side all the way to the other, just to get off any excess paint. Only go in the green. We don't want any lumps and bumps. We want it to dry super fast. Okay? So now we're going to rinse and dry that brush. Remember, if you smash your brush in your cup and smash it, let's say this is your brush and you smash it, it makes your brush frayed, and they don't last very long. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that brush on the bottom of your cup and rub back and forth, back and forth, like you're painting it or scrubbing that brush, not smashing it, back and forth, and probably at least a good 20 times. That gets the paint worked out of your brush. We're going to use this brush for a magic eraser, you guys. So it needs to be very clean, and then we're gonna get it very dry. Every time you rinse your brush, you're gonna do the same thing. Rinse it and dry it. So I'm brushing it on the bottom, squeezing the water out, and I'm pinching it with my paper towel. And we're ready to dry. So I'm gonna set my brush aside, I'm gonna grab my heat gun, and I'm gonna dry. Okay, we're finished drying. Okay, we're done. Okay, listen, I noticed when I was finished with this and I finished drying it that I missed a spot here. What? Stephanie? Okay, I noticed when we were done that I missed a spot here. So instead of getting my brush dirty again and having to clean it again, I'm gonna do a little shortcut, and I'm gonna stick my finger in some green paint, and I'm just gonna rub it on the edge. Rub it on the edge, and it's all done. It's much faster. We love finger painting. You guys know you love finger painting. So now we have our background. We have blue sky. If your sky is lower or your green is taller, it doesn't matter. This is nature. You can have it all one color if you want. So it doesn't have to look exactly like this. You could have actually, remember what I said, you could have painted it pink. We love pink, purple. You could paint it brown if you want it to match your bedroom. You could paint it gray. So you're in control. That's the fun of painting. You guys get to make all the decisions. We're gonna start with this cute panda bear's face. Now everybody find your chalk. Mine is always in the bottom of my cup. Very convenient, right there. I try to keep all of my things in the same spot so I don't have to try to find them. So, chalk, get your chalk. We're gonna start with his head. His face and his head is the most important part of this entire painting. We don't want to have a little tiny head and a big body, or a lot of sky and grass and a little tiny panda, because he's so cute. We want him to be big. So his head, look at what shape that is. It's almost like a triangle. So it's a soft triangle. And we're going to do it about, I don't know, about a whole hand from the top. So if you put your little finger up here in the middle and put your whole hand here, you're going to put a dot right where your thumb is. If you have tiny, tiny hands, open up your hands just a little bit. Open up just a little bit and put that dot. That's the top of his head right there. Now, if I'm going too fast for you guys and you need to take a minute to catch up, pause your video. You can pause this anytime you want. You can rewind it if you didn't understand what I said. So you get to go at your own pace. If I'm painting something and it's taking me too long, you're more than welcome to fast forward through that and get to the next step because you get excited. Okay, bear. Now look at his body. His body, there's a big space. Look at my hand is open down here. It's opened up. So I'm going to put my thumb down here and open up my hand, and I'm going to put a mark directly under there in the middle. That's about how big his head's going to be. If I open up my hands, that's about how big. So it doesn't have to be exactly that same size or that same shape. We're just getting an idea. Now with that magic paintbrush that I had you clean and dry, if anything needs to be changed, you're going to be able to use this to erase your chalk lines. But you don't need water or paint. We just dried this. We don't want to add any extra moisture or water to this painting. So no water and no paint. You're just going to dry it. This paintbrush is your magic eraser. So I'm going to put that back on there. Put this back on here. So look at his face. His face comes almost to the edge. So I'm going to put 2 fingers and put a dot, 2 fingers and put a dot. So they're in like a little triangle right there, or diamond. Okay, ready? So we're going to do this. We're going to go down like a triangle, make his face wide, come down here, come out to this point, and make his face wide. So this is like a big smiley face. It's almost like a triangle. Look at this. If you did a triangle right here, all you would do is make these edges round and soft. Okay? So take a moment, look at that, rewind this if you need to, just so that you make this shape. A lot of you don't need to put these marks. You could just look at this picture and know that that's the shape that you're going to make. Okay, so we're going to erase the stuff that we don't want. Then we're going to put his little muzzle right here. Right here, we're going to put a smiley face just below. So this is like this. We're going to put it just below this line. So this is the bottom of this. And we're going to put this right up into here. That's his little chin. His little chin. And then we're going to come up here and make it nice. It's almost like you're doing an oval and an oval. So if you put an oval and an oval and then curve that in on both sides, that's the shape you'll need. It doesn't have to be exact, you guys. We just need a place to put his nose and his little smile. Okay, so we've got this. Eyes are their personality, and these eyes are huge, huge. So we're going to start right in the middle. You can see there's only one finger's width, one finger in between here. So you're going to put your finger on top of its nose and put one finger here and put the two little marks there. One finger, and it goes almost up to his head. But I want you to look right here. It's a little wider right here, so it doesn't go straight up like this. Okay, it doesn't go straight up. It goes out a little bit, goes out a little bit. And then we're going to make an arrow and come back down. An arrow, come back down. Now remember when we made the triangle, we're going to make that softer. Get rid of any hard edges. Get rid of that. Get rid of the hard edge right there. Make it soft. Okay, you notice the eyes aren't the same shape. They're not the same as those, and it's okay. So this is art. You don't have to have anything exact. And this is a panda. Not all the pandas look the same. So ears. Ears are so cute, you guys. Now if you put your chalk here and you go up and you come down to the same spot, it's going to look like a mouse or a bunny. Okay? Super cute, but we're not doing a mouse or a bunny today. So we're going to erase those with our magic eraser. And we're going to start here and we're going to do a big loop. You can see that there's a space in between where it starts and stops. Okay, so we have two big ears. Now if you get them too big, you're going to go ahead and make them smaller. You can erase anything that you want. So you guys play with this. This is your roadmap. This is the most important part of your painting because this is what you're going to be looking at. And if you make something big and you paint it big, you can't change it. Well, you can change it, it's just harder. Okay, two ears. Nose. So in this nose, which we did down below, there's an oval right in there. We're not going to do this part yet because we'll wait until we paint it white. It'll be much easier to put on top of there. Now eyeballs. Huge. Okay, these eyeballs are huge. So we're going to go ahead and do two big round circles and they're attached to the edges here. That one's not attached, but you got the idea. We're going to go ahead and paint those white before we put in the rest of the colors. Much easier. Okay, shoulders. If you put his shoulders down here like this, he's got a big head and little body. So he's like a bobblehead. A bobblehead. Or a Funko Pop. You guys know Funko Pops? I have a whole collection of Bob Ross Funko Pops.
What's the difference between a Funko Pop and a bobblehead?
With the bobbleheads, when you poke their head, they're not attached and their heads bobble back and forth. And a Funko Pop is a figurine of a character. So he's got a bigger head and a smaller body, but it's attached so his head doesn't bobble. Okay, we got a bear. So let's make his shoulders wide and they go almost out to the edge. So you're going to come out here and you're going to come out here. Now pandas all have different coloring, so whatever size you get this white in here, it's okay. Okay, so for this video, we're just going to make a nice arch in there. White, black. Okay, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Now when we add the fur, it's going to make this get a little bit bigger and it's going to fill in this space. You guys ready to paint? Stephanie, are they ready to paint?
Yes.
All right. You guys remember Stephanie's back there, right? She's being awfully quiet today. Okay, so we're going to start with the white parts first. If you start with the black, if you get any black in your white, it's going to turn gray. So we're going to start with white first, and that'll help the black cover that up if we get too much paint. So white, medium paintbrush, medium paintbrush. All of our medium paintbrushes are a little bit different. Find one that works for you. Okay, those are two different medium brushes. You might want to have at least 3 or 4 different size brushes. Big brush, medium or a couple of mediums, and a liner brush, which is really small. Okay, can you see that stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Barely.
Barely? Okay. So, medium paintbrush, starting with all the white parts first. So, we're going to have to put other colors in here. So, we want this to dry. So, we're going to do these first. So, medium paintbrush. Remember, we don't get a lot of paint. We don't scoop it. We're just going to dip it on the edge. Always on the edge because it helps you remember. And you're going to take and trace the chalk right where the eyeball is and fill that in. I didn't get any more paint. Trace it and fill it in. Try to make your brush strokes in a circle. So I did a C and a backward C, and it makes the eye look more round. If you go up and down or side to side, it doesn't make it look as round. Same with this one. We're going to do a backward C and a C and fill it in. Now when we're painting these, it may not cover all of the colors in the background, but that just makes it look interesting. Don't worry about trying to cover up everything, okay? This is art. It's supposed to look like you painted it, not like a picture or a photograph or a poster. So let's continue with all the white spots with our medium brush, and we're gonna start putting in some fur, okay? So this line that's smooth, we're gonna make it a little bit jagged. Now, any way that you make it jagged is perfect because it's got fur and they're all different. So once we get this in here, we're going to finish filling that in without getting any more paint. Remember, we don't want a lot of paint. We want it to dry. We want it to be thin and smooth, no lumps, no bumps. If you end up with a large space and you need a large coverage, you can switch to your big brush. So I'm painting it every which way right now just to get it covered, and it looks more like fur. Okay, we got some fur. Now we're going to do the same thing with the head. Let's do the muzzle first because we need to do some things on there. We're going to trace it, trace around the nose as well. This place that we're going to paint black, we're going to trace around that. Now you guys, if you accidentally filled this in and it gets a little bit too small, it'll be okay because the black will cover. So if this is totally white, you can redo the nose with the black. So don't worry about that. So we didn't get more paint. We're going to fill this in. If you have any extra paint and it's got lumps, fill it in. When you run out of paint, get just a tiny bit, tiny bit. Now look, this is a circular space, so I'm doing a circular brush strokes, not up and down, not side to side. I'm going into the shape that we're painting in. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the head that we did down here. We're going to give it some fur. So let's do the fur first. We're going to start by the ear. If you want to give him a mohawk, you can give him a mohawk or a faux hawk. Then we're going to go around here, give him some fur. And if you get the fur not going the right direction, it'll just look like one of those bears that just woke up out of his hibernation. Super cute.
Or like me first thing in the morning.
Yes, bed hair. So we're going to do these coming down. And then when we paint white next to this, we don't want to lose that shape because if we paint white right up to it, you won't know where that line is. So what we're going to do is we're barely going to leave a tiny little gap. Tiny little gap. Can you see that? You're zoomed in? Yes. Right here, so that we know where that shape is. Tiny little gap. You can see it over here too? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish outlining the eyes. Outlining the eyes. I'm going to leave that tiny little gap here as well. Anytime that you butt white up against more white, you need to leave a gap. It just helps you in the long run. So you've got this all painted and we're going to fill it in. Remember, thin and smooth, guys. No lumps, no bumps. Some of you are going to have really furry bears and they're going to have fur everywhere, and some are going to be super smooth like they just got home from the beauty parlor. Hair salon? Hair salon. Okay, we got some white going on in here. Now this is the part where you guys aren't really looking at me. You guys are going to be filling this in, so don't worry about it. I'm just coloring in the same time you are. If I go too fast, remember, pause it. You can always pause and rewind this. We're painting thin and smooth. Thin and smooth, no lumps, no bumps. The whole painting. No lumps, no bumps. There are times, and painters that do paint with a lot of paint, it's called painting impasto. But if you do that, then you have to wait for it to dry, and then you have to come back a couple of days later, and then you have to paint some, then you have to come back, and We don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm putting the rest of my paint down here because I had paint left over on my brush. Look at, he's starting to look like a bear. Now in here, I'm going to put a little bit more white while we're working on our black. And I'm only going to worry about getting the outside edges. They're going to show right here. So I'm just going to go around the edge, thin and smooth, just so that that's really white. Don't worry about getting in the middle. We're putting a different color in there. Okay? And what do? Rinse and dry. Rub, rub, rub on the bottom of your cup. A bunch of times, not as many for the smaller brushes. Squeeze and then pinch it with your paper towel. Now we're going to do all the black parts. Okay, black covers really well. We don't need a lot of paint. You're going to use that same medium brush. You're going to turn your brush sideways so you get skinny lines. If you turn it this way, so sideways is this. If you turn it flat like this, you're going to get that. So we want it flat. And this is the reason we take care of our brushes. You can see how skinny this brush is. It's because it's been taken care of. If you don't take care of your brush, it's going to float out like this and won't get back together. So always take care, make sure they stay nice and flat. Let's start with the eyes because we want to do some more stuff on here. So we're going to start with the eyes first. Brush is sideways. You're going to go up into there, up in there, fix anything that you need to fix and outline it. Go slow. You guys are not in a hurry. Go really slow. Slow right next to his nose and around the eyeball. Slow, slow, slow around the eyeball. Okay, once you get a nice circle, you can go ahead and start filling that in. Same paint. I didn't get any more paint. This goes really far. Really far. If it gets in the white, it's okay. We can touch up more black when it's done. Now there's a spot in here that's really small and I can't get to it with this brush. So I'm going to switch to a small liner brush and put a little bit of black and that'll get in that nice little spot right there that I couldn't get in with my big brush. You have way more control. Okay, so I'm going to leave this brush with black on it for right now just in case I have to do that again. Okay, fill this in. So far so good, you guys? Looking cute, huh? All right, outline, another eye, and we're gonna go around, do a rainbow, a C, go back, fill it in. If you get stuck to a spot that's really small, switch to your liner brush. Don't try to get in those little tiny places with your medium brush because it's gonna get all over the place. You have way more control for the small spaces with your smallest brush. And we're almost finished doing the eye. Make sure they're round, that they don't have any pokey spots. Pointy, pokey. It's like a tongue twister. Pointy, pokey. The pokey spot. Pokey spots over here. Pokey spots on the eyeballs are bad. Okay, we have eyes. Yeah. So now we're going to do this as well. This might be too big for you guys. So I would suggest taking your liner brush and just going out here. Now, if you painted it white and it got covered, this is a good time to take your brush and make it as big as you need to with your black paint. Get that nose back in there. With a small paintbrush, it doesn't hold a lot of paint, you guys. So you're going to have to dip, paint a little bit, dip, and paint a little bit. Don't try to do one big long line. It doesn't hold enough paint. That's why we hardly ever use these brushes. They're just for little detail work. Okay, once you have it outlined, you're going to take this brush, dip it. Remember, we're not scooping, and then you can fill it in. Go slow, go slow. Okay, starting to look like a panda. And what's the next? How about, let's do some ears. The ears are cute. Medium paintbrush again. We're going to go and make some jagged edges outside your lines so he looks furry. It's like doing a lightning bolt. So watch over here. I'm going to do it slow. You're going to start down here and you're going to go up and back, up and back, up and back. And if it doesn't look smooth, it's okay because it's fur. Okay? And then you'll fill it all in. Fill it in thin and smooth, no lumps, no bumps. When you get close to the head, right here, you're going to follow the same direction of the fur that you put there earlier. And it's okay if you cover a little bit of it up. Look at how cute. Another one. If the ears get out of shape, one's too big and one's too small, it's okay. We're not all the same. Okay, fill that in. Cutie. We'll do the same thing down here, but we're going to make our fur face down. So it's going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Do the other side. Turn your brush sideways. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now I'm going to go ahead and trace around the middle part right here so that we can fill it in really fast. So we're going to go on the face. Let's see, we'll do some face here, smooth. Okay, we're going to go around the fur. If you accidentally go on some of the white, it's okay. Around the fur. Up and down, up and down. Make some more if you want to. And then we get to fill it in. Where these little triangles are, you're going to use your medium brush to fill those in because your big one is way too big. Holds too much paint. It's going to get way too thick. Around the face, same thing. Anywhere there's a smaller space, you really need to stick to your medium paintbrush. Okay, get the bottom. Put your paintbrush flat like this to fill in the spaces, and sideways like this to get in the smaller areas. You guys, he is so cute. Now when you're done with this cute little thing, when we're done with the eyeballs, we're pretty much done. We're going to do the smile and the eyeballs, but be thinking what you want to do to this panda, because you can put a bow in its hair. You can put flowers up here. You can put a bow tie on it. You can put glasses on it. You guys can doll this up any way you want to. In fact, we'll probably do that when we're done. I might put some flowers in the hair up here. Fill this in. Rub it back and forth. Once you're on the inside and you already outlined it, you don't have to be so careful. That's why we spend the time to outline it, so that when you fill it in, you don't get out of control and get into your painting. It's good? It's good. So what are we doing? We're rinsing, drying. Rinse and dry. Rub, rub, rub. Always, I'm going to remind you guys every single time because it's something that's super important. And if this is the only video that you watch in this series, it's important that you do this just to keep your products clean and safe. Okay, let's see, what are we doing? We're going to do the blue around the eye. So we're going to use the same blue that we used for the background. I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm going to remember, not scoop. I'm just going to put a smaller brush. And I'm going to do a circle right here. There's a smaller circle, but there's a little bit of white showing. So I don't want to get by the black. That'll help you remember, not by the black. Leave some of the white showing. Draw a circle. Okay, that's all you're going to do. Leave some of the white showing. Don't get close to the black. And you have your blue. And we're going to let that dry a little bit so that we don't make a mess of his eyeballs. Rinse and dry. Squeeze it out. Now the thing that we're going to do next is the highlights on his nose and the part in his mouth. And then we're going to do the outline. So remember that line that we left some green showing? We're going to use our smallest paintbrush, tiny liner brush, dip, and you're going to go fill in that line. Dip. And remember, if you take this little brush and you go like this, it's skinny, same brush, you go fat, you push really hard, it's going to get fat. So don't push hard. Soft, soft, soft. Soft, soft, soft. Up here over his nose. Down where that space is that we left on purpose. I just gave him a mole. Okay, underneath of his nose, there's a straight line and then a smiley. And then little lines right there. Underneath this smiley, you're going to fill in that little triangle right there. You see this triangle right here? Fill it in and puts a little more paint right there. Now he really won't come to life until we get the pupils on here. It'll make him, it's actually a highlight. Okay, we got that. His nose should be dry. If it's not dry, you're going to use your heat gun to dry it, or your blow dryer. We're going to take that same little liner brush that we cleaned and dried, tiny bit of white paint, and put a highlight across this nose. What do you think? It's coming together, huh?
He's cute.
He is cute. Now with this, we're going to take our heat gun or our blow dryer, and we're going to dry that blue that we did in there so that we can add the black. If we don't dry it and we put the black in there and it gets on the blue, it's going to make them gray, which they'll be fine, but they won't be as crisp. So let's take our dryer and we're going to dry only the blue. Okay, we got that done, ready? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that medium paintbrush again, medium, and we're gonna fill in the eyeballs. Now, if you have a small eye and it's smaller than this, you guys get a smaller paintbrush to fill that in so that you have more control. If you try to use too big of a brush, it's gonna cover up your blue. Stephanie's telling me to smile. She's actually looking like she's in pain. She's saying, smile, Susan. So I'm smiling. I'm smiling on the inside. All right, you guys. I'll try to show it on the outside. So, medium paintbrush, you're going to leave blue. Remember, we left some white last time. You're going to leave some blue this time. Leave some blue. Okay, so you're going to take and you're going to do a C and a backward C and fill it in. Look, he already looks even more happy. Look at that. Super cute. Now, this is when you want to make your edges really crisp and clear. Crisp and clear. Look, I got tongue-tied. Stephanie's making me smile. I can't talk and smile at the same time. Okay, look. Okay, so we've got eyeballs. One's bigger than the other one, but it just makes him look cute. And the last thing that we'll do with his face, with his eyeballs, is take the back side of your medium paintbrush, pick one of them, dip it in the white. Not a lot because we don't want his eyeball to drip and run. We're giving him a highlight, and the highlight is what happens when the light hits your eye because your eye is wet and it makes it reflect. So we're going to give it that, and it's going to make him look alive. We're going to go right in between the black and blue, wipe it off, right in between the black and blue. Look at how cute that is. Now, if you don't like that there's too much green showing behind there, what I did when I painted this is I just went over some of the areas with my medium paintbrush and did a little bit more white. Try to stay away from the black. If you get your brush in the black, it's going to turn gray. Gray pandas are cute, but we're trying not to get in that black. So I'm going to put a little white, and look, it just makes it super white. I'm going to make some furry looking. It doesn't even have to cover the whole thing because it just makes it more thick. It looks thicker. His fur looks super cute. Remember, we're painting thin and smooth. Look, that's better, huh? Much better, much better, much better. Same thing with up here. We want to get more paint up here. Look, I got it in the black. We're just gonna have a little spike right there. Get rid of some of that green. You don't have to get rid of all of it. It's not gonna look good if you get rid of all of it. Do some of his nose. Look at that. It's so fast. The second coat is so much faster. Now, if you rub back and forth, it's going to make some of the paint underneath of it wet again, and you don't want to bring up any of the blue or the green. So don't rub back and forth. Just get that paint on there. It doesn't have to be as smooth or controlled. Look, I got black on him. So cute. Don't worry about that, you guys. It just makes him look interesting. Now, if you don't want that to happen, make sure that you use your dryer and dry the whole thing completely before you do this. But I think it's fine. Okay, we're covering him up. He's so much cuter. I just have to do his face. Now, I could do glasses. I always like to put glasses on these guys. It's super cute. You can do red glasses or blue glasses. You could put pink flowers, like a headband of pink flowers right through here. You can also put a bow in the hair. You can drop a necklace on here, or you can also put a bow tie. So you guys be thinking about what you want to do to your panda. Some of you are just going to leave it the way it is because it's so cute. I don't blame you at all. So cute. Get a little rid of that, some of that green. Look, he's so bright and fuzzy. Bright and fuzzy. And gray. I got some black in there, you guys. We're just gonna go with it though. This is just painting. You can cover up paint. Tomorrow, if that was gonna bug me, I could actually come back and put some more white on top of it. But I'm gonna go with it. It's super cute. What do you think? He's super cute. Okay, so let's do something to him. This one is going to be left like this. We're going to do something. And I'm going to let Stephanie choose what we're going to do to this little bear. So it could be girly, flowers, bow, ribbon, whatever, a necklace. Could be more like a guy with a bow tie or some glasses. What do you think?
Pink flowers.
Pink flowers. So let's get some red. We already have white on our plate, and red and white make pink. I'm going to put it right next to the white. Not very much. You guys, look at, I always get way too much paint. Way too much paint. So probably try to do better than me. But I've been painting for my whole life practically, and I still get way too much paint. Give yourself some grace. Okay, so flowers. We should probably do this with our chalk first. Did I put it back in here? No. There it is. So with your chalk, you can actually do several different kinds of flowers. You can do the kind that look like this. Okay, you can go like this, where you just take your brush and stick it in pink and white and do swirls and swirls and swirls, and then put some leaves. Those are the easiest, and they look super cute. You could put a smaller one over there. You could do that kind, or you can do what I call kindergarten flowers, where you just take a circle and then you do some petals around it like this. A circle and petals. And I would do like 3 really big ones, and then maybe a couple of small ones, and then a couple of leaves. Which do you prefer, Steph?
The first one.
The first one, the swirlies. We're going to do the swirlies. All right, so you're going to take your medium paintbrush. You're going to make sure all of this is dry first. We don't want gray or black flowers. So make sure you heat gun this. This is all dry. Medium paintbrush. I'm going to mix a little red with a little white, and I'm not going to stir it all together. Okay, I didn't stir it and stir it and stir it until it was all done. I'm going to start right here. Now, if you want, you can take your chalk and you can put a circle where you want to keep the flower, and another circle, so that your flowers don't get out of control. Now that I did this, it also made me think you could put a crown on it. Would that be cute or what? A crown with some sparkly jewels. So, medium paintbrush. You're going to turn your brush sideways, and you're going to go swirly, swirly, swirly. Same thing. Swirly, swirly, swirly. Look at how cute that is. I have some gray swirlies. Okay. Now the very last thing that you're going to do is to pick up a little more red and just do a couple of lines, like a C and a backward C. A little more red, C and a backward C, and that changes the colors. And then you're going to wipe your brush off and stick it just in the white on the edge, and you're going to do a C and a backward C. Don't rub and rub and rub. We don't want it to be all one color. C and a backward C. So cute. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to clean and dry our brush. We're going to give it some leaves. We already have gray. We can put a little bit of blue in it to make it a little bit darker, and so it's a different color than the background. So blue and green. And when you do your leaves, you're going to do a C and a backward C where they touch at both ends, and then fill it in. Okay, a C and a backward C, like parentheses. You guys know parentheses? Okay, up here, we want them to be small. We don't want them to be bigger than the flower. The flowers are most important, and these are just an idea of some leaves. So in this gap, a C and a backward C. C and a backward C. And you can put 2 together in some places. We're going to do another little one over here. We're going to do a little one over there. So in the middle, everything is bigger. As it goes around the edge, smaller. Bigger leaves, smaller leaves. Bigger flower, smaller flower. Up here we can do one little, oh my goodness, that's too cute. Look at that. I love it. Now, if you want to get really fun and you're not ready to stop painting, you can take the back of your paintbrush, stick it in white, and do some little white flowers. Little white flowers. You can even put some on here, look. Like there's little white flowers tucked in there. Oops, I almost put green on there. Look, there. All right, I say ta-da. You guys, good job. I'm so glad you're here. If you want to paint this thing again, you can actually paint this cute panda as many times as you want. You can do all the things. You can put glasses on it. If you were to put glasses on this guy, you would put a straight line here, do this, and make the glasses a color that's completely different than the background of the panda. Bright red, purple, something fun like that. If you wanted to put a bow tie on him, you just put a little circle or a square here. Bow tie, you can put dots on the bow tie. Okay, that's all done. Is this my wet one? Erase that. What else did I say we could do, Steph? A crown. A crown. So it's not going to show up much on here, but you can go like this. Okay, and you're going to know you want a gem here, a gem here, a gem here, and then where the crown goes around your head. You can paint this all gray like it's silver and put colored gems on it, colored stones. You could paint it all yellow like it's gold and put little white diamonds on it. You guys get to decide. What else? Was that it? Ribbons. You could do a flower and ribbons. Let's see. If you guys, tomorrow, when this is completely dry, this one I painted yesterday, it's completely dry. You're going to take a wet cloth and you can wipe away all of your extra chalk. If you have extra chalk, don't try to take it off today. You'll get smudges everywhere. You'll be so sad. So wait till tomorrow. Get a little water on your paper towel. It wipes away all of your chalk marks. And ribbon. So you can actually put a ribbon around here and put a heart. You can put a heart on there. You can do, I know that a lot of you like to wear the cat ear headbands. So you can do a cat ear headband. And then do this right here and make cat ears. You can also do a llama panda. No, a panda corn. And make him a horn. And paint it bright pink and purple and different things. So there you go, you guys. One picture, you can do a ton of ways. You can do this panda again and make him brown. You can do it with different markings on his chest where he's just half one color and half the other. So have some fun with it. And I'll see you guys at the next one. So make sure that you take your permanent marker and pick a spot that's clean and dry. Not clean and dry, but dry. And sign your name. Ta-da! There you go. Hooray, huzzah. We'll see you at the next one. I'm so glad you guys were here. Have a great day.
And go.
Okay, so when we're painting the background, remember, big space, big paintbrush, and we don't use any paint or water.
What is this? Oh, tell me you got the giggles.
Oh, that's good. Here we go. It's done. Nobody.
Stop, you're going to get all red.
Oh my gosh. Okay.